Okay, looks like we're gonna get started here pretty soon. And they're off. Or are they? Monsh? Where is he? To me it says the race started, but... Oh! Okay, there we go. Alright, we're going. Okay. So here we go. This is Pepsiman for the PS1, released in '99. I'm your host, Mick Cooper. I'm also a speedrunner of this game, and I hold the 80% world record. Monsh holds number 4 spot, and Marlin is also, I think, top 20. He surprises me sometimes with this movement. And Monsh is pretty good at this game. He taught me a lot of the tricks in this game. One thing that you'll see right off the bat is that they are constantly dashing. Dashing is the fastest way you can move in this game. And they are actively avoiding the cans, which means that by the end of the stage, there's going to be a tally for how many cans they've collected in every level. You want to avoid collecting a can, which unfortunately Marlin collected a can. Very, very unfortunate. Let's see if Monsh can get through the excavator without collecting another can. Oh, Marlin gets it. Monsh also gets it. Okay. Both players getting the excavator skip? Alright. Marlin, unfortunately, getting 2 cans, though. It doesn't really matter a whole lot. But the fact that he still managed to get the excavator skip is pretty, it's pretty good. So, both players are playing on emulator right now because this game is very hard to get a hold of physically. But it just means that the stream is in better quality for the rest of you guys. Okay, Monsh and Marlin, pretty even, at least coming out of 1-1. Monsh, however, gets the leg up because he did not collect a can, so watch this. You're going to see that the new record screen does not pop up for Monsh, and it pops up for Marlin. So, Monsh is going to be ahead by about a couple of seconds. Okay, Monsh heading into 2-2. Again, we're going to be seeing more of the same stuff. This is probably the easiest level in the game. While 1-1 is not very easy because of the excavator, but... Oh, Monsh immediately dies! Oh, no! Marlin, though, chooses to play it safe, collect some cans. Oh, he's out. Okay, he's out. Alright, he's collecting some cans. He hasn't quite gotten canless down yet. He's got 5 cans so far. Monsh, however, is still going strong on the canless. He's going strong on canless. So Marlin is slightly ahead now because of, he just didn't make any mistakes so far. What was that? Okay, I've never seen that before. What was that? I have never seen that. Okay, Marlin just taught me something new that I've never seen before. So Marlin finishes 1-2 first, so he's actually going to be ahead by a little bit. Monsh, however, he's lagging behind a little bit, but he can still catch up. Yeah, so he got canless once again, but again, it doesn't really matter because he died at the start of 1-2. So this chase level is pretty simple. You just move left and right and jump. You can't really dash in this section, so you just have to react to whatever's coming up. This one is pretty easy. It's easy to get tripped up because there's actually so few obstacles that they can just appear and you won't be ready for them. These guys are, you know, they're doing pretty well for avoiding the obstacles so far, so hopefully we will be seeing both these players get out of stage 1, you know, pretty much scot-free. Stage 2 is where the real test starts to happen. Now, Pepsiman is a very fast game. One major mistake, you can basically lose up to 30 seconds. In some cases, you can lose minutes. It's very, very harsh. Very harsh. So far, Marlin, despite not getting canless, he's actually playing it pretty safe. Monsh, he's doing better with not getting canless, but he got that one death, and that death meant a whole lot. So this is stage 2-1. We're in New York, and Marlin gets hit by the truck because he tried to dash through it a little bit too soon. So him and Monsh are actually now even again. So Monsh, I think Monsh tried to go for 2-1 canless, and he may have messed it up. So unfortunate that nobody got 2-1 canless. However, this is probably the hardest canless level in the game. The only person who's been able to get 2-1 canless in a run is me, and that was only recently. So it just kind of goes to show how hard this level is to do canless. So I don't blame either of these guys for like at least attempting it and not getting it at first, because it's very hard. So this section right here is, oh, Marlin just jumps a little bit too soon, gets hit by the support beam. He's still keeping pace. He's still going strong. Monsh, however, he got hit by jump glitch, but he didn't get hit. Monsh finishing 2-1 pretty convincingly, I'd say. Now the only reason why Marlin is behind is because he got hit twice. He got hit before the truck, and he got hit on a support beam. So both these players are actually pretty even, all things considered. Now 2-2 can really turn the tides, because this level is pretty notorious for dropping inputs, especially an emulator. If you're playing an emulator, it gets pretty bad. But let's see how they do. Okay, Monsh does a break dash in order to get up to top speed. He's going to try to do canless. I just saw him avoid the cans. He's going to do canless. Marlin, of course, also doing canless. Ooh, jeez. Oh, he gets hit by the pipe, though. Monsh and Marlin, they're going for canless 2-2. Now the question is, who's going to keep the canless long enough for it to matter? That's the thing. Monsh goes for the momentum boost off the slope, and he's keeping it really well. Okay, so he stopped. It's good. Now that actually put him ahead, like, just a little bit. Like, I wouldn't say a whole lot, but he's definitely, like, pretty convincingly ahead. So Marlin, he's trailing behind a little bit, but he can still catch up. Just don't make any major mistakes and you're good. Now this part right here that Monsh is on, this is notorious for dropping inputs, so he's got to be careful. Monsh seems like he just got through that super convincingly. He's out. And Marlin looks like he's about to finish 2-2 also. Both players getting canless 2-2. That's awesome. Now Monsh, he's about 10 seconds ahead now. And 10 seconds in Pepsiman is pretty huge. This section, of course, this adds obstacles at the top of the screen, which means you need to actually avoid jumping a lot. Because if you jump, you're going to hit the signs on the top. So you have to be very cautious with which obstacles you jump over. However, Monsh is getting through this section pretty well. This chase section, I'd say, is pretty easy. Because there's actually just like, you can like basically follow just like 2 lines in the entire level. And yeah, both of these players getting through this part pretty easily. It's not really that hard, as long as you do some practice. So as you can see, Monsh got 3 cans in stage 2-1, no cans in stage 2-2, so that's pretty good. Marlin's right behind him. So 3-1. This is where truck skip is going to come into play. If I hate to say it, but I think if Marlin does not go for truck skip, Monsh might get it and he might be ahead. So let's see what Marlin can do. If Monsh misses it, however, Marlin could get it and get ahead. So this part right here, this could change the match. I didn't see Marlin's screen. I think he got hit. I'm not sure. It didn't look like he got hit. No, he didn't get hit. Okay. No. Oh, Monsh gets the truck skip. He gets the truck skip. All right. But he collected a can, so no canless, unfortunately. Let's see if Marlin's going to do it. I mean, Marlin gets hit by the log. Unfortunately, no truck skip for Marlin. He might... Oh, no, Marlin. Oh, Marlin. No, this... It's looking pretty bad for Marlin. I hate to say it, but Monsh being ahead by this much speaks volumes. Because, again, this game, 10 seconds is a lot of time in this game. You can spend a lot of time basically just getting hit or not doing certain skips, like this right here, Monsh being very ahead because he got the truck skip. He got hit, unfortunately, from one of the bikers, which means that one more hit and he's going to die. And if Monsh dies, it's very, very bad. Monsh is going to be behind by about 30 seconds if he dies here. So, I don't think he's going to be dying, though, because he is very, very... Oh! Oh, no, he died! No, Monsh dies! He's all the way back there! Marlin, I don't think Marlin's going to be... Oh, no, Monsh. He had no reason to do that. He already missed canless. Oh, man, Marlin might be just taking this. He is stealing 3-1 away from Monsh. He basically did it for free. You cannot say that was... You can't say that was expected. I did not think Monsh was still going to go for the car wash skip, even though he already collected a can. That's pretty bad. And I hate to say it, but Monsh could have walked away from this for free if he just, you know, sucked it up and collected a can in the car wash, because he already missed the canless. So Marlin's actually going into 2-2 very much ahead, or 3-2 very much ahead. So this could actually be an interesting race. At first, when I saw the truck skip, I was like, okay, so Monsh is probably just going to, you know, be ahead for the rest of the race. No, Marlin is now ahead because even though he played it safe, he did not die. So now, Monsh is playing catch-up. And since we're in 3-2 now, 3-2 has a lot of areas where you can instantly die from this barrel section right here. So if you get hit in this barrel section, you instantly die, which means you go back to the checkpoint, which means you lose a lot of time. Both these players can easily get through this part without getting hit or falling down a hole. Now this part right here, Marlin gets through it very convincingly. He's out. He's going to hit the last checkpoint, and he's going to be in the mine shaft. This mine shaft is pretty brutal. Now, there's no more checkpoints after you hit that checkpoint. Oh no, Monsh dies again! Oh no, Monsh! Oh, Monsh, no! Monsh dying in the barrel section, that is going to cost him a lot more time. Now, as far as I know, Marlin has not died once. Monsh has died twice, which means that Monsh is now playing massive catch-up with Marlin, and Marlin, I think, is actually just going to get through 3-2 with barely any issues. Now, can he get through the boulders without getting hit? Yes, he does, and he's out. Monsh is playing... He's playing really well, but he's playing very behind right now. Those two deaths really impacted this time. Marlin right now is on the chase section. Now this chase section is pretty easy because you can actually see what's coming up. As long as you don't get hit, you should be able to just, you know, react to everything pretty easily. Monsh just now finishing 3-2. He's gonna be heading into 4-1 now. let me just say, but before either of these players get to stage 4, it should be known that stage 4 is, you know, it's pretty hard, especially if you're in a race like this where making one mistake could cost you up to 30 seconds. Because that can definitely happen here, especially in stage 4-2. 4-2 is, it's pretty hard. It's the hardest level in the game. So, when they get there, I hope that neither of them make too many mistakes. Okay, someone in the chat said that we've got about a 38-second lead for Marlin, which means that Monsh could indeed still get ahead, but Marlin would have to make a big mistake, and I don't think Marlin's in any mood to make mistakes right now. Okay, we're in stage 4-1 for Marlin. Now, we've got a couple of things here to talk about. We've got truck skip to talk about, not this truck here, but the next one. So, let's see if... Okay, Marlin's not go for truck skip, he plays it safe. Okay, he doesn't go for the truck skip, but he does make it out scot-free. I think Monsh will indeed try to go for truck skip because it does save a lot of time. And he gets hit by the trash can. Oh. Oh, no! Oh, Marlin dies. Okay, that's a huge... Okay, that's... Well, it's not huge, but it's a decent setback. He gets hit by the same trash can again. Sorry for laughing at that, but that was... I don't know, it's pretty fun. Oh, it gets hit again. Oh no, Marlin, don't do this. Oh, Marlin, no. You're better than this, man. Alright, he's out. 52 seconds at the trash can. Let's see what Monsh can get. Monsh, I think, did get the truck skip, so he's out. He's moving. As long as he just keeps dashing through the section, he should be fine. "34 seconds at the trash can. Okay, so Monsh right now is about 20 seconds behind, but he can still indeed make this. Okay, Marlin, that part is very scary, but he managed to get through it pretty well. Monsh, meanwhile, he's keeping his speed up. He's keeping the consistency up. He's playing like he wants to win, and it definitely feels like he wants to win. He's trying to make up for those huge mistakes he made early in the run. Marlin, though, finishing 4-1. Monsh now finishing 4-1. We're now heading into the final level. Well, quote-unquote final level. There's still another chase section, but this is the last platforming stage in the game. So coming up in the 4-2, what you're immediately going to see is that they want to stay as grounded as possible on these conveyor belts, because these conveyor belts heavily speed you up. So what we're going to see Marlin doing is he's going to try to stay on the forward-facing conveyor belts as much as possible because it keeps their speed up. He's playing a little bit safe, doesn't want to really get hit by anything, and I don't blame him. So Monsh is now entering 4-2 now. He's going to try to do the... Oh, no. No box skip. Marlin right now is actually doing a pretty decent job in 4-2. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, but let's see how he does in the pipe section. This pipe section is pretty hard to do fast. Monsh getting hit though in the conveyor belt section. That's pretty unfortunate. Oh, Monsh getting hit again in the pipe section. That's unfortunate, but Marlin also getting hit in the box. Oh, no. Monsh dies, and he gets a game over. Monsh got a game over. I think that's the first game over in the tournament. I could be wrong, but I think that's the first game over in the tournament. That's going to set Monsh back a lot of time. I know he's got to be disappointed in that one. He did not want to have a game over in this race. He gets hit again. Oh, no. Marlin, by the way, is in the final section of 4-2, and I think he's going to just take this for free. And he does. He gets through the sled section. Monsh dies. Oh, no. It's really not looking good for Monsh. Marlin finishing 4-2. Monsh getting hit again by a box. Oh no. Oh, Monsh, no. It is really not looking good for Monsh. Monsh normally does not play like this. He's got to be sweating a little bit. Oh, okay. Marlin gets a couple of pauses in there that he didn't want, but I think it's safe to say Marlin takes this race. I don't want to call it just yet because it's not really over, but Marlin seems like he just got this race. Monsh, meanwhile, is now closing in on this first checkpoint, 4-2. He's getting through the pipe section. So, right now, well, I hate to say it, but... Oh, Monsh. Oh, there's another death for Monsh. Monsh is another death away from getting another game over. And he gets hit again in the pipe section. This is not looking good for Monsh. Monsh might... I'm not sure what he's going to do, but Marlin finishes at 20 minutes and 12 seconds. What a race. What a showing from Marlin. He was the underdog coming into this, and he actually pulled out a surprising victory. So kudos to Marlin. Really good performance from Marlin, actually. Even though he didn't pull out as many tricks as Monsh knows how to do, Marlin still comes out with a W. So color me surprised. Monsh, meanwhile, is finally getting into the last section of 4-2, and after that is the chase section of 4-2, or in 4-3. Yeah, what a race from Marlin. Marlin just pulled that out. So Monsh getting through the sled section 4-2 pretty convincingly. And all Monsh has to do now is just get through the chase section, which is really not that... Well, for us speedrunners, the chase section isn't very difficult because we already know how to do it all, but to anyone who hasn't played this game before, the final chase requires a lot of trial and error. But for us, you know, we know everything, so Monsh knows everything, Marlin knew everything that was about to happen in this chase section. So all Monsh has to do is just close this out, and the race is over. But GG's to Marlin, definitely the underdog coming into this one, and he pulled it out. So congratulations to Marlin. Although, I just want to say, so this is loser's bracket, so that means Monsh is now out of the tournament. Unfortunately, he lost to me, and now he lost to TheFlyingMarlin, which means that Monsh is now out of the tournament. However, Monsh is a really good player at this game. I mean, he holds the number 4 spot on speedrun.com for this game for any percent, which that's no small feat, you know. Getting top 5 in Pepsiman right now is a very, very hard task. And the fact that Monsh has number 4 means that this is just kind of a bad day for him. But Monsh finishes the race. He finishes at 22 minutes and 24 seconds. You got it! Yeah! So 2 minutes and about 12 seconds behind. No. Yeah, 2 minutes and 12 seconds behind Marlin. So there we have it, folks. And this is only the first match of today. We're actually going to be back later today, or later tonight, I should say. In about 3 more hours, we're going to have... no, 2.5 hours, we're going to have another loser's bracket race. So, and it's going to be on SpeedGaming 3 instead of SpeedGaming 4. So right now we're on SpeedGaming 4. We're going to be on SpeedGaming 3 for the next 80% race in about 2.5 hours. So look forward to that. I'm also going to be on commentary again. So it's going to be one heck of a day. I'm going to tell you that right now. So again, GG's to both these players. Really good showing, actually. I really didn't expect Marlin to play. So his consistent play style actually worked out in the end. But Monsh, I mean, he died a couple of times prior to 4-1. And in 4-2, 4-2 really messed up Monsh. Monsh, I think, just had a really bad day with 4-2. Which, that is kind of his demon. His demon is very much 4-2. I think until Monsh conquers his 4-2 demon, he will, you know, inevitably struggle with 4-2. And again, it's very unfortunate, but Monsh is now out of the tournament. Marlin will be moving on to losers semifinals, which means that the next race after the race that's coming up later today will be losers semis. And we're going to see Marlin back again with the winner of the next race. It's coming up in a couple of hours. So, with that being said, let's see if I can get both these players in for an interview, see how they feel. So let's see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now joined by today's winner, the Flying Marlin. Marlin, congratulations on winning this losers bracket pretty convincingly. Now, I will say, okay, it was cool that you actually played consistent and safe, and that was actually what led you to win. Now, I want to know how you feel about the overall race.
Yeah, I was incredibly nervous the whole time. If anybody looked at the at my facial expressions over the course of the race, I was definitely on edge. I noticed in the first half, especially, I felt like I had a lot of like really small mistakes, which normally pile up for bigger ones. But yeah.
Well, there were. I don't want to make you feel bad, but there were definitely a lot of mistakes that I was noticing throughout the run, from both of you actually, not just you, but also from Monsh, because Monsh, unfortunately, and again, I hate to say this, but Monsh made very huge mistakes, very huge. He went from being ahead, like convincingly ahead, to being very far behind, all in a matter of I think like 1 or 2 stages. It was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate.
Yeah, I looked down on my phone and I saw that he nailed the log truck skip, which is something that I still haven't really come close to consistently learning. Or it looked like he did at least.
He did.
Okay, which is awesome because I have not really learned that yet, although I intend to like polish the heck out of it. But yeah, like one of the things about Pepsiman that makes it in some ways a very unforgiving game is that certain really small mistakes can end up being really big in terms of time lost, because like sometimes it's an insta kill and then boom.
Now, I'm glad you actually said that, because that's something I talked about during the run, is that mistakes can pile up very fast in this game, and it being a short game, obviously you don't want to make a lot of mistakes because they can easily compile up into about 10 seconds here and there, like let's say another 15 seconds for like a death, like an instant death in a barrel section, and then like let's say you're in 3-2 at the very end and you get hit by a boulder, so you're losing about 50 seconds, like just straight up, just because you died at the end of 3-2. Now, Pepsiman is a very unforgiving video game when it comes to deaths, especially in a speed run. And you've shown that playing consistently and playing safe can still net you a W.
Mm-hmm.
Monsh, now I'm not going to discredit his skill. Monsh is a very good player. Okay, if you go and watch his PB in this game, his any percent PB, you'll see that Monsh is a very good player this game. Monsh is the person who teaches pretty much everybody who wants to get into this game about all the tricks.
Yeah,
he knows all the tricks. He knows how to do all the canless levels. And I saw that in 2-1 he actually tried to go for canless, but he collected one anyways. And something that actually really got me was in 3-1, Monsh collected a can far before he got to the car wash. All right, and I was like, okay, so he's not going to try to do the car wash skip because he's not doing canless. Like, he doesn't have to do it. And he tried it anyways, and he died. And I was just like, oh no, that just happened. That was the moment when you actually got ahead, because he died at the car wash. And from then on out, I think, small mistakes here and there, a couple of deaths, and Monsh lost a lot of his grip on the run. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I've this is what happened to me. This is very much what happened to me during my last race against Jonathan, where like the smaller mistakes just pile up in your mind, and then you get really hypercritical, and then boom. That's happened to me many times, including during marathon runs. So that is one of the more difficult parts of this game. But yeah.
See, and it takes a lot of willpower to get those mistakes out of your mind, especially when you're in a race like this where so to give you some context, what I did during my run during my race against Monsh is I didn't even look at the screen. I didn't look at anything. In fact, I turned my computer monitor off. So there's no feedback from anything. The only time I turned it back on was when I was in the chase section of 4-3, so basically it was free at that point. And what I'm glad to see is that in every single chase section, neither you or him made any mistakes. I think you got hit once in the log chase, but that was it.
And the log chase, the thing about that is that it's, at least to me, the log chase just seems so formulaic. The pattern is pretty easy to remember, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, just basically It's basically it's basically where it shows what happens on one side. So basically, every other for a large part of it, every other thing a log that spits out is just the mirror image of the last one. So that's pretty easy to remember.
It is very easy, yeah. And again, it's nice to see that both of you didn't really make a lot of mistakes, if at all, in any of those chase sections, because they are quite easy.
Yeah, and
what I will say though is that, so here's something I noticed from you. So in 4-1, let's see, you didn't do the truck skip.
I think I know what it is.
You didn't do the truck skip, but well, actually, here, let me try and think. So you didn't get the truck skip.
Nope.
You got hit during the right after the first checkpoint. You got hit by the trash can, and then you die because you had a car run over you, so you instantly died. So you respawn, you get hit by the same trash can.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I cracked up a little bit because
I did too. I'm pretty sure I laughed at that too because it was just so weird. What I think was happening at that time was that I was just so on edge because I saw that I looked down at my phone and I saw that I was a little bit ahead, so I realized, like, you know, maybe I was like a few small mistakes ahead, so I was like on edge because I was thinking, oh, I could win this one, and then I think that caused my mind to go into overdrive. Because when because if you look back at me trying to do truck skip, what I kept doing was getting up behind the truck and then stopping. But the thing is, I didn't get the timing right because I was so on edge. So then I just stopped a bunch of times behind the truck. But I decided to just go with the just do it, just stay behind the truck until it's done.
Now,
and then after that, I think that was just things piling up.
So 4-1 truck skip is different from 3-1 truck skip. How you do that one is you just run straight into the truck, and then you hope that you get a fast hit animation. That's all you do. And
okay, that makes it a lot easier.
From then on, you do a brake dash, and then you get past the truck. That one's very easy compared to 3-1 truck skip. 3-1 is like you gotta position yourself, and then you gotta make sure that you're not holding any directions, or you make sure you're not holding up. Then you pass by a certain Pepsi can on the ground, and then you hit the brake button. And then hope to God that a log falls on your head so that way you can do the truck skip. I mean, that one is very complicated. 4-1 is very easy compared to it. But, again, you didn't need to do it. I did see that, like, after you died in 4-1 that first time, and then you hit the trash can again, and then you go to the other side of the road, and then you hit a sign that's on the ground, and I'm like, I'm actually just cracking up here. Because, like, you get hit by the trash can, and then you do a brake dash, and I'm like, okay, so he's going now, right? And then he just falls into something else, and it was pretty funny. But from then on out, you didn't really get hit a whole lot, so it was good. It was still good performance. Monsh did a pretty good 4-1, all things considered, because he was far behind by this point, and he didn't really make a whole lot of mistakes. So 4-1 was like the place he could have caught up, and I think he did catch up during 4-1, but then 4-2 happened. And man,
4-2. That's 4-2 is just basically if your system or whatever, or or whatever you're using has a tendency to drop inputs, that will very much show on 4-2 because and it's and like and 4-2 is one of those places where, especially in the first half of the level, all the small mistakes you can make could very well just drop you off into the void because of the conveyor belts.
See, that's something that I was trying to talk about, is that the conveyor belts help you speed up if you get on the forward-facing ones, and you actually did pretty well, all things considered. I've actually I think you actually did some improvements to how you play 4-2 from the last time you played, so that's actually pretty good. And I didn't actually expect you to play it that well, but there were some mistakes, especially from both you and Monsh. I saw some things during the pipe section. I think you got hit. Monsh definitely got hit a bunch of times. I think he game overed once on the pipe section. Ooh. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Oh, there we go.
Accidentally clicked the wrong thing.
There we go. Okay. Monsh. GG's. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you this, but you're out of the tournament. But it was a good run.
Yeah,
The parts where you did well, there were parts where you didn't do so well, but at the end of the day, we're all Pepsis. We're all Pepsi drinkers. We're all Pepsi men.
Indeed.
And just because you didn't win this race, it does not mean you're a bad player. In fact, guys, Monsh is still one of the better players at this game.
Yeah, Monsh
He is number 4 after all, so just because Monsh didn't win does not mean he's a bad player. So everyone,
Yeah, Monsh is
give a
incredible.
hand for Monsh. He did very well this race, all things
He has
considered.
one of the top times on the leaderboard, and he's, as MC or Mick Hooper said earlier, Monsh.
We just lost Marlin. that was strange. Okay.
I'm sorry. I love that he was talking and then he got kicked out.
That was fun.
Okay, well, Monsh.
Yeah.
Monsh, again, I'm very sorry about your performance, but for all the things you did do correctly, you did very well. You did manage to get 3-1 truck skip, of course. You did get the 4-1 truck skip. You got a couple of canless in the early game, which did put you ahead by a lot. And then the major thing that set you back, I think, was the death in 3-1, and I want to talk about that. So, you collected a can in 3-1, and you still went for the car wash skip. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I had already picked up a can, and I knew I was very low on HP. I mean, I was 1 hit away from dying, so I very clearly didn't want to do car wash skip at the end. But I don't know, maybe I practiced car wash skip too much, and I just got nervous and tried to do what I had been practicing so much, and I failed at it. So yeah, I don't think it was my intention to do it, but I think subconsciously I went for it. So well, the results right there. So I got hit, I lost a bunch of time, and there I just got nervous all throughout the run.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Show on 4-2, so
4-2, I think, was, that was the one part in the run where I was kind of thinking to myself, like, oh man, no, this is not Monsh. This is not Monsh. This is somebody else.
That's definitely me. I mean, you definitely can't see it on my new RPVs, but that's clearly me a few months ago. I mean, I'm nothing if I'm not inconsistent. If I'm not inconsistent, that's not me. I get hit a lot on that level, and only recently have I been able to get through it without getting hit even once. So yeah, it's more normal than you think, more common than you think.
It's nothing that a little practice can't fix.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'll be practicing a lot from now on. Not to say I wasn't practicing for the tournament.
Of course.
I'll focus more on that level. So,
It is unfortunate though. 4-2, of course, being the hardest level in the game, especially in a tournament setting. I have struggled with that level a lot, especially during my own runs. It took a lot of patience and a lot of practice, but you can get a rhythm down with that level eventually if you just practice it a lot. Which I'm not saying you don't practice. I'm saying that it's very hard to get it consistent. But the longer you keep at it, the more consistent you get. But on that note, I think it's safe to say that this losers run was pretty interesting, all things considered. This is the first match of losers, and we've already got our conclusion. So again, Monsh, I'm very sorry, but you are now out of the tournament. Marlin will be moving on to losers semifinals. And again, good game, Monsh. It was very, very, very good to watch.
And it was a fun run. I definitely enjoyed the tournament, and I don't regret at all joining.
And on that note,
I was dubious at first if I was going to join, but it was great. a great experience.
On that note, we're going to be heading off for the night. So in 2 hours, we're going to be doing another Losers Bracket run. Let's see.
It could be Ghost versus Jonathan.
Okay, we're going to have Phantasma, aka Ghost Senpai. It's going to be versus Jonathan. So that's going to be another interesting matchup. Ghost hasn't played a game since his first match against Monsh. So let's see if he's been doing some practicing in the meantime. And Jonathan's been looking pretty good this whole tournament. So let's see how he does. But all things considered, guys, in 2 hours it's going to be another match. But for this session, we're going to be signing off for the night. Again, thanks for watching. And again, have a Pepsi. Have a good night. Peace.